Asian people in our communities that own like beauty supply stores or that have like restaurants or whatever, which is like helping in the sense that like you're providing resources to like this community. But when it comes to an issue within the Black community, when it comes to our lives being on the line, when it comes to our safety,
when it
they
comes
not
to
there.
the demons at the door,
When it comes to the
when it comes to the demon at the door,
come to the door and start speaking your language. Affirmative action on that part of the show is so genius. It's when the vampires or the white people come to the door and the dude starts speaking Mandarin, saying, "Oh, it's better over here. You don't gotta be with like the Black people, whatever." X, Y, Z. What is that? That is the white man like sweet talking to Asian people, which is exactly what the fuck happened during the affirmative action shit. They literally took Asian people, weaponized and said, "Damn, y'all not getting into these schools. That's why we got to get diversity programs the fuck out of here." They will convince you that you're not suffering from the same like discrimination, the same racist ass views they have about you by speaking your language, by talking you up, by making you feel confident.
The whole scene they're talking about was very complex, only because there's only 3 Asian characters in the whole film, and they're a family. You understand there's a different relationship between the twins and Bo, because you could tell that there's a lot of love between those 3 guys, right? As opposed to Grace, she's more like an outsider. Even though she is Asian and she's part of the community, you could tell she didn't grow up in the community. Whereas, Bo did. He grew up with Smoke and Stack, and you could see it. And I think that's one of the reasons a lot of people say that things might have been different if it was Bo inside the building with them instead of Grace. But the thing is that, I give Grace, and it's kind of apropos that Ryan Coogler went and named the character Grace, because you have to give her grace in the situation that she was faced with, which was you have a group of vampires. You just found out that your husband is one of them, and they just threatened to go into town and get your daughter and turn her into one too. So any parent is going to be like, yeah, fuck no, right? But it was all like to get her or get someone to invite them in. And that's another thing that was really classic, right? That Coogler kept in when it came to the mythos of the vampires, which is you have to be invited in. But things like the gentleman in the beginning said, right? You praying to God, to Jesus, is not going to work. You know what? I'll pray with you. I'm a vampire. They taught me that when they went and stole the land from me and my family, and they took us across the ocean, and they did all these horrible things to us too. They taught us this about this white man named Jesus too. Let's pray together, because it kind of brought me comfort as well, even though I know it's bullshit. Like, that's literally how Remick was in that scene. But with the same scene with Grace, it's a hard scene, and their analysis was really good. Again, I love the conversations that are coming off of this film. Next one.
How did they do this in Sinners? It'll surprise you. In this scene, Michael B. Jordan seamlessly passes a smoke to himself. Easily done, right? According to Ryan Coogler, this is the most complicated shot in the entire film, but it's worth it. Most movies, including many times in Sinners, make a twin shot by simply doing it twice and dividing the frame. Shooting a scene from one side of the conversation, usually with a stand-in, and then filming the other side. It's then combined in post to make it look like you have a twin. But for this scene, to pull off the physical interaction between the two, it required an extremely high level of precision, even though the method was still more or less the same. It just needed a few highly technical additions to pull off. First, they used what's called a techno dolly, essentially a giant robot arm that can recreate the exact same camera movement over and over again. They then used a series of loud electronic beeps to coordinate exactly where the actors and the props would be on a certain timing. It was like music set to a choreographed dance.